Have you ever wondered how you can learn anything in just 21 hours? It may sound like a tall order, but let me assure you it's entirely possible. The secret lies in the power of quick learning. This is a skill that goes beyond mere memorization. It's about having a burning desire to learn, adopting the right mindset, and being ready to put in the practice. This 21-hour learning process is incredibly versatile. Whether you're keen to pick up a new language, master a complex software, or even learn to cook a gourmet meal, this method could be your game changer. It's about harnessing your inner potential and accelerating your learning curve in ways you never imagined. Remember, the ability to learn quickly isn't reserved for a select few. It's a skill that can be cultivated, honed, and mastered by anyone with the right approach. Now that you're intrigued, it's time to dive into the specifics of this fascinating approach. Before we start, it's crucial to understand the foundation of rapid learning. At its core, rapid learning revolves around three main principles. The first principle is focusing on the most useful information. In any subject or skill, there's always a subset of information that carries the most weight. This is often referred to as the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule. It suggests that 80% of the results come from 20% of the effort. Thus, in order to learn rapidly, one must identify and focus on the 20% that yields the most significant impact. The second principle is breaking down complex concepts into smaller, manageable chunks. This principle is based on the idea of chunking, a process by which individual pieces of information are bound together into a meaningful whole. Think of it as a puzzle. To solve a puzzle, you don't try to fit all the pieces at once. You start with one piece, then another, gradually building up until you have the complete picture. Similarly, by breaking down complex concepts into smaller parts, you can understand and master each part individually, which ultimately accelerates the learning process. The third principle is the use of active recall and spaced repetition. Active recall is the process of actively retrieving information from your memory, which strengthens your memory of that information. Spaced repetition, on the other hand, involves revisiting the learned information at increasing intervals over time. These two techniques work in tandem to reinforce what you've learned and help prevent the fading of memory over time. The importance of these principles cannot be overstated. They form the bedrock of rapid learning, enabling you to soak up knowledge like a sponge and retain it for longer periods. With these principles, you are one step closer to mastering your desired skills in just 21 hours. Now, let's unveil the 21-hour learning plan. Imagine yourself on a journey of discovery and mastery. This journey is broken down into 5 simple steps, each one a milestone towards your learning goal. The first step is defining your learning goal. What is it that you want to learn? Be specific, be clear. You're not just learning to cook, you're learning to prepare a 3-course Italian meal. You're not just learning to play the guitar, you're learning to play Stairway to Heaven. The more specific your goal, the easier it will be to chart your course. Next, identify the key components of the skill you want to acquire. Break it down into manageable pieces. If you're learning to play a song on the guitar, these pieces might be the chords, the strumming pattern, and the lyrics. If you're learning to cook a meal, these could be the ingredients, the preparation steps, and the cooking techniques. By breaking the skill down, you make it more digestible and less intimidating. Now that you have your goal and your key components, it's time to dedicate some focused time for learning. This isn't just about finding 21 hours in your schedule. It's about making those hours count. Turn off distractions, get comfortable, and dive in. Of course, learning isn't just about studying, it's also about doing. So step 4 is practice. Practice each component until you feel comfortable, then start combining them. Strum that guitar while singing the lyrics. Cook that meal from start to finish. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Finally, review your progress. Reflect on what you've learned, what you've struggled with, and what you've achieved. This isn't just about celebrating your successes, it's also about identifying areas for improvement and planning your next steps. Every step of this journey, from defining your goal to reviewing your progress, is an essential part of the 21-hour learning plan. It's a cycle of setting goals, breaking them down, learning, practicing, and reviewing. This simple yet effective plan is your roadmap to learning anything in just 21 hours. Now that you have the plan, here are some tips to make your learning journey smoother. Firstly, maintain a positive attitude. It's crucial to keep your spirits high throughout your learning journey. Remember, the power of positivity can fuel your motivation and drive you towards your learning goals. You're not just accumulating knowledge, you're evolving, growing, and pushing your boundaries. Secondly, consistency is key. Just like how a river cuts through a rock, not because of its power, but its persistence. Learning anything new requires regular practice. Dedicate a few hours each day to learning, and you'll be surprised at how quickly you can master a new skill. Thirdly, don't forget to take regular breaks. It might seem counterintuitive, but taking breaks can actually increase your productivity and creativity. Our brains are not designed to focus for hours on end. Short breaks can help refresh your mind and keep it sharp. Next, don't hesitate to seek help when needed. No one is expected to know everything. If you're stuck, reach out to a mentor, join a study group, or simply Google it. There's no shame in asking for help. In fact, it's an integral part of the learning process. Finally, remember to enjoy the process. Learning is not a race, it's a journey. Celebrate your small victories along the way. They are stepping stones towards your ultimate goal. Remember, the journey of learning is as important as the destination. To wrap up, learning anything in 21 hours might sound ambitious, but it's truly possible. We've delved into the power of learning, establishing a solid foundation with the principles of rapid learning. We've also explored a structured, 21-hour learning plan that can be tailored to any subject. Finally, we discussed valuable tips for effective implementation, aiding you in maximizing this strategy. Remember, the key lies in the right approach and unwavering dedication. With these in hand, you can indeed learn anything in just 21 hours. Happy learning!